Alright folks, my name is Freyn and welcome to the T92. This is an extremely underwhelming 6.7 light tank in the American tree, and I've got two very different clips from it for you today. Now before I get too far into the gameplay, I'd just like to warn and apologise that this video has been an absolute nightmare to put together. This first game here is recorded with shadow play initially and it has screwed up the clips so badly. I think I've managed to fix most of the issues with a bit of botching and forcing things together, but there is one unfortunate video skip I cannot fix. Hopefully none of the other things are things you'll notice. But that out of the way, this is Advance to the Rhine for the first battle. It's a full up tier against Germany, Russia and France. And as you can see from the bottom of the screen there, this is fairly early in my T92 grind, so I'm still using the stock APCR round. Oh, pushing forwards in my normal spot, and I've already seen a Object 906 there getting onto the A point. Fortunately, he's only got 3 crew, and despite the APCR's absolutely abysmal spalling, they were close enough for me to take out 2 of them and get the one shot. So that's a capture denied for an enemy light tank, so some spawn points denied as well, and I'm now just sitting here waiting to see what's going to come my way. My first customer here is an AMX-30, I can see over the top. Now, let's line up the camera first, get a scout so I know exactly where he is at all times. He has heat and I am a hull breakable vehicle, so if he gets a shot off, I die. That means no going for the risky potential one-shots or anything like that. I need to get that gun breach. So we'll aim up, side of the turret, gun breach, 2 crew, he spins towards me, and another one into his driver. He did pop smoke. I think he was just hoping there that he could maybe get a lucky bounce and drive away. But I don't want to sit in the smoke because obviously everyone looks at it and goes, hey, there must be a tank there. So I'm going to drive away a little bit. Maybe if someone does come to investigate it, I'm slightly off to the side and I can get them from an angle they're not expecting. But got an AMX-50 coming in, so scout them up as always. Should always ideally be the first thought with a light tank like this. And again, we'll go for his gun breach. It's fairly big in the AMX-50, so it's a pretty guaranteed shot if you shoot sort of under the turret. Before I could finish him off though, the on-toss to his side has taken him out. Can't get through the upper plate with this APCR round, it's not going to happen, so I had to shoot either side of the turret there, knock out the crew that way. But it's off to a fairly decent start there with 2 kills, and thankfully not dying yet. We've got control of most of the map, but we are now losing C. We seem to be trading C for B here, which I'm not too fond of, as it means there's players up by our spawn. So I'm going to climb up onto the rubble. I could try and push around to C, but I don't want to get too close if I can avoid it. And while I can't see into C from here, I can see anything leaving it, like this RU-251. Sneak a shot through the hole in the building and unfortunately make his ammo explode. Now if I hadn't got him there, I am fairly covered and I can easily drive off this rubble. He wouldn't have been able to return fire too easily. You can see another Object 906 driving down towards B. I'm a little too small to actually get a decent shot. These wooden beams sticking out of the rubble do not block the shells, but they do block my vision, and I don't want to fire if I don't know that it's actually going to do something, otherwise I'm just giving myself away. So for now I'm just, we'll just sit tight and wait. An AD4's just taken out one of his own team and our Carnarvon on the B point. Sitting and waiting to see where this 906 re-emerges. I've turned around in preparation to flee. I do not want to get hit in this thing. It's made of complete paper, it hull breaks, and there he is. Again, fortunately the crew in that tank are close enough together that as long as I don't hit too far forwards or too far back, it should one-shot. I would be better off with the later ammunition unlocks for killing 906s. The Heat FS will of course hull break it, meaning I don't have to be quite so precise. But they are at least one of the easier targets for me to actually engage with the APCR. There's not a lot I can pen frontally with this, especially in this matchup. So I'm just sitting and trying to stay hidden, trying to wait for tanks to appear that I can get a side shot on, that things I can engage sort of on my terms. Some movement just over to the left there. So as always, scout it up first so I can keep track of it. It's T-44-100. Not a good shot there, and potentially giving myself away. He didn't seem to have realised where the shot's coming from, and he's giving me his side turret, so just wait for the angle to straighten up. Yeah, there's that terrible APCR post pen. Actually went for the ammo rack with the second one there. Didn't get it, but got the crew instead, and we'll just ignore the video blip that occurred. The one unfixable one, unfortunately. Game's looking alright though, it's going alright for me, and we're getting most of the cap points. There's a few minutes of just idling on top of this rubble here, so we'll skip ahead a little bit. During which time the enemy is capping the A point, so I'm flanking around. I don't want to go head on to them. And I'm not going to move on to the cap until I can see where they are. If I drive on, it starts decapping, they know I'm here, they turn around, and I'm in trouble. There he goes, T-54. Didn't tag him, unfortunately, with the scouting, that's a bit too slow. We'll drive onto the cap, and yeah, it's obviously going to draw him in this way, but fortunately the T92 is a very small tank, and I can hide behind this wreck, hopefully not get seen. There's also a slight hope that yeah, it might draw him back. Obviously I don't want to face him head on, that's the T-54, but it will stop him from flanking my teammates who are over at the C point. There's a lot of luck involved here, and a lot of hope. I am small enough to hide behind the Panther wreck, but if he's cautious about it, he might still see me, and it doesn't leave me much room to manoeuvre. Fortunately, he's looking away, drives around side on. First shot gets the driver. He's got terrible turret traverse, so I can afford to just sit and take out the rest of his crew. Thankfully, the postman not letting me down in that case, otherwise I would have been rather in trouble. But I'll cap the point and skip ahead again. So the cap's taken, and I believe that's the last kill of the game as well. Just going to show you one more engagement. Bear in mind here that, in my opinion, the APCR is actually the best post-penetration available to the T92. The other shells have got better penetration, but this seems to do a little more spalling. See how many shots I have to put into this Coelian here just to try and take him down. I actually don't get the kill. I can't pen his frontal hull, so I can't go for the remaining crew members. I have to wait for his turret crew to go back, or for him to turn his side. Try and go for ammo. Just slight yellowing. And this is what makes this tank so frustrating. It's that damage on the ammunition. The actual platform itself is quite nice. But unfortunately came out with a win. And a nice 6 kills and 6 assists. Some due to scouting, some just due to, yeah, terrible ammunition. But very different game for clip number 2. This is Maginot Line. Still a full up tier, but the tank is now spaded out, so I've got that full ammo complement available to me. Now, seeing an Object 120 over there, I normally wouldn't engage tanks at this range if I can avoid it. I typically start out the games on a large map like this by just playing as the scout role, but the Object 120 has hull break and I'm firing primarily heat, so one hit should be enough to get the kill, and there we go. So that's the one target I've got here down, and yeah, the intent is to retreat back and just go into a spotting role. In my opinion, it is the better and certainly the safer way to use the T92. Unfortunately, it doesn't make for great videos. I do have another couple of clips from this map, some in actually over up-tiered games, which are quite embarrassing for my team, but yeah, they're just not exciting having the first sort of 5 minutes being entirely spotting. This one's a little more active though. We've got, first off, one leopard over there I've just targeted, and then I see a bit of movement over here. Unfortunately didn't notice the SU-100P on the right straight away, so went for the Panther 2's engine, see the SU-100 and then see the RU-251. Now he's a much bigger threat, obviously. He's looking at me for one thing. He can also hull break me, so he had to die. Now let's work on finishing off this Panther 2. The SU-100P has escaped. Shame, because again, he has hull break and I could have one-shot it. That will turn to finishing off the Panther 2. Bit of a frustrating one here. I knew his turret crew had died once. I obviously couldn't hit the frontal crew, so I was hoping to take his gunner out again now that it had come back into the turret. Unfortunately, the loader's dead body is enough to absorb all the spall, so I went for a third fire instead and lost the kill to a bulldog. There's now a leopard heading my way, and yeah, some more of this absolutely horrible post-penetration. I even tried for this target swapping to the APCR because he's spinning around, he's giving me his rear and his side. And from my experience so far, this does have a slightly better spalling pattern. Unfortunately not better enough. So it's another assist. Pretty par for the course with a light tank, especially one with this ammo selection. With the scouting feature you already get a lot of assists anyway, but then when you're unable to reliably take out enemy tanks, you end up with yeah, a lot more assists than kills. But there is a T92 over on this eastern flank with me. He's the only player I've got over here. I'd like to keep him alive, and he's calling for backup. Says there's a T44-100 ahead of him, so just gonna head forwards. Spitfire's just giving him a little tag there, so I know exactly where he is. It's maybe not the best approach, as I'm quite visible to anything coming up from the south. But we'll drive up and try to get around behind him. Tag him just in case. It's always nice to have the extra lines. He's noticed me, so drive around. He's got no tracks, thankfully. Side turret for the breach, and the smart thing here would have been to go for his driver first, as he's already missing 2 crew and it would have finished him off. Unfortunately, in the heat of the moment, haha, I went for his ammo and it got absorbed by the fuel tank. Heat isn't great at getting through those fuel tanks. But took him out. Obviously I had to keep going for the lower plate. I couldn't get through his upper plate. This ammo just isn't good enough. It's only a 76mm gun, so the heat capabilities is not quite enough for that thick of a plate at that angle. I can see some shell smoke there. There's a leopard down near our spawn. Managed to actually make his ammo explode this time. It doesn't happen all that often, but it's very nice when it does, so it's a leopard down in one. Now there isn't anything else around him, but obviously the less shots you have to take, the better, both in terms of enemies shooting back at you, but also giving away your position, giving time for backup to arrive for your target. Now, I would like to just sit and continue playing my scouting role here. Unfortunately I can't. We are losing the map. They're capping the B point, they've got the A point. I need to push forwards. So, go for the cap and we'll skip ahead as nothing really happens for a while. We've now obviously got the A point and I'm just a little bit further ahead, hoping I can mark up and intercept anything headed back for the caps. There's a Leopard 1 there, so first shot, get that breach, all important. I do not want to be hit by anything if I can avoid it. Now, if there is one positive thing to say about the T92, well, aside from its size, so I guess two things really, it's got a good reload. So when your shells don't do a massive amount of damage, you can at least follow them up. It's not ideal, obviously. I'd rather take a longer reload with much better ammunition, but the Leopard doesn't seem to be stopping. He's just rushing towards the cap, which there is already a target on that I didn't notice before. Leopard's gone out of view again, so turn my focus to the T44 and let's move forwards a little bit before I take in this shot. I want to be close enough I can drop down to the ditch in case it doesn't kill him. Thankfully, 3 crew down, T44-100 is out, and the Leopard burnt out as well, so that's double kill. Seems the Leopard, I think, just didn't have FPE, probably not even parts, judging by the fact he didn't stop to repair. Good for me, but honestly, I feel sorry for him in that case. It sucks, it really does. I hate being in that situation myself, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. One last kill here, plane headed towards me, and quite remarkable how many aircraft I have taken out with the T92, given it's got a 50 cal and a 30 cal, but it works. And that is the end of the video. I wouldn't really recommend the T92 right now, horrible ammunition and lots of up tiers. But as usual, thank you very much for watching, I hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you next time.